I'm Barry from Barry's Auto Body. Today we're going to do a video on how to properly clean the outside of your windshield streak-free. The video that we're getting today is actually from some ideas that we got in the comments, so please comment on the videos because we do get ideas for other videos there. If there's anything you want to see, put it in the comments and we will try to do it. Basically, the products that we're going to be using is, one of them is going to be RainX. And what we're going to do inside, we're going to put a line down the middle of the car, which I'm going to do with tape. And on one side, we're going to be using RainX, which is a water repellent. On the other side, it's going to be Meguiar's Ultimate Paste Wax. This is the one that we're using today. You could also compare this to a Canuba wax if you wanted to use that. And we're going to see the difference on how the water runs off the windshield between the two of these. We're going to use gloves. Steel wool, you can use Brillo or really any steel wool. Sprayway glass cleaner. Mother's, it's just a clay bar. I mean, you could use any good clay bar. And we're also going to use Simple Green, which the stuff is great and it's also environmentally safe. So come inside and please check the video out. Like and subscribe. Alright, so now we're inside the shop and I'm going to show you how to clean the outside of the windshield properly. We're going to do a lot of steps here. I'm going to explain what each step is, so if there's any, feel free that if there was a couple you wanted to skip, you can skip a few. But this is basically showing you every single thing that it's going to take, depending on how bad your windshield is on the outside. This one's pretty bad. You see the little bit of bird poop on it and all the leaves and everything around it. Now first I'm going to start. We're going to wash it off first, just with normal soap and water. Now, normal soap and water is going to take more of the regular dirt. It's going to take things like tree sap off. That's basically for what this step is for. Underneath the windshield also in the cowl is always good to clean the inside of the cowl too, because all your leaves on the windshield will fall to the bottom, and that's what happens a lot of times. It'll actually cause clogs in the car and things like that when the leaves end up staying on top of the cowl, because the water is supposed to drain from the windshield, go into the car and basically fall out the bottom. So when you have all leaves caught in the middle and underneath the bottom of the windshield, there's basically little grills there that you're clogging up. So you do have to clean those every once in a while. You don't want to use any razor blades to clean the windshield. Some windshields, yes, you can get away with it, but there are certain windshields that have like a plastically film on top of the windshield, and if you end up using a razor blade, you can cut the windshield. Also, if the razor blade, it's very easy for a razor blade after a couple of uses to start to get little cracks in it, and you can end up scratching the windshield with that, so you really shouldn't use a razor blade on it. Alright, so basically this is just going to be normal soap and water. We're going to clean off the windshield. This is getting rid of a lot of dirt, debris, bird poop, things like that. All that stuff. It's not going to get rid of anything, any chemicals on the windshield. As far as if you're driving underneath a bridge, it's not going to get rid of that, or the rust that comes off of a bridge. Acid rain, it's not going to get off. I mean, certain things it won't get off. Alright, so that's basically step one, just normal soap and water. Wouldn't use any soaps with any kind of ammonia in it, because that will leave streaks. Normally you don't want to use regular dish soap or something like that. That's the last thing you want to wash your car with. This, I don't want to rush past this, because this particular stage is actually a lot more important than it may seem, because if you're using ammonia, if you're using some kind of normal dish soap that you think is going to be safe to wash your car, you will get a lot of streaks on it. Same thing when you're washing the outside of the car. You don't want to use products that are made for a dishwasher. You want to go to the auto parts store and buy products that are actually made for a car. Now we're going to dry it off. off with a microfiber towel. All right, so basically I put a line of tape across the middle of it. This way you can see the difference between the two sides. We're gonna go to the next step, which is only gonna be on the right side though. We're gonna use clay, and this is basically, this particular clay is from Mother's. Mother's makes great products, but this is clay, and then this is a lubricant for when you put the clay on. This way the clay doesn't leave streaks and things like that on it. You have to use the lubricant. And what the clay does is basically, it really cleans. A lot of people don't know, clay is just dried up wax, is what it is. And what it's doing, it's gonna, as you're going over with the clay, it's picking up a lot of the things that are kind of stuck into the windshield, or if it was the paint of the car, things that are stuck into the paint. That's what the clay is for. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over the part that we clayed. I'm actually going to do both sides, this way I could clean everything nice and we can start applying products. But we're going to go over it again with a microfiber. All right, this side is the RainX side that we're gonna use the RainX side. On the other side, we used a clay bar to do it. On this side, I'm gonna use a steel wool. I could have also used a steel wool before I clay barred that side, but I'm trying to show the difference basically between, if you were using RainX, you would kind of use just glass cleaner. First you would use soap and water, then glass cleaner. You would use a steel wool and then right to RainX. If you were using the other side, you might have used steel wool before you use the clay bar, but the clay bar is basically going with the wax side because the clay is actually wax. All right, on this side, we're gonna apply the RainX. Make sure you read the directions. Obviously, on all the videos that we do, you do have to read the directions. But clean and thoroughly dry surface before treating, which we've done. The entire windshield is completely clean. If you look at it, there's nothing, no imperfections in it. There's no dirt. There's nothing that's gonna get trapped in there with the RainX. And basically, one of the things that keep in mind, first off, the cloth. Whatever you were drying the car with, obviously you're not going to use the same cloth because it has to be dry. And you also don't spray it onto the windshield, spray it onto the cloth. So all it really is, turn it, spray. So first we'll wet the cloth. You can actually smell it. It's got almost like an alcohol spray. And what you want to do is nice circular motions, it's saying to use. All right, now we've let it dry for a couple minutes, and basically what we're going to do, we're going to apply one more coat on it. All right, now it's dried a couple minutes, so you can actually see it's got a little bit of a haze on it, which is where we want to hit it. This is a new microfiber, it's a dry microfiber. So now we're going to hit it one time with a dry microfiber to kind of work in and get rid of that haze. All right, now on this side, this is basically the side that we're gonna use the Canuba wax. I put a set of gloves on. I probably should have had them on when I was doing that, but definitely more important when you're using the wax to have some gloves on while you're using the wax, because it will make a difference. The wax is gonna pick up a lot of oil in your fingers and things like that, so you should always be using gloves while you're working on the car, but especially when you're using waxes or any kind of solvent-based materials. This actually comes with an applicator also, which is very good when you're using these products. When you're using a wax especially, it's always better when they come with their own applicator, because you don't want to start putting them on with a microfiber or start putting them on. Wax is really not made to put on with that. There's a reason it has this nice soft sponge that it comes with. You put the wax on basically just like the other side. You want nice circular motions. And what we're gonna do, this panel, I mean really any wax that you're using, if I was doing the windshield, I would probably want to do it in 2 separate coats, but being that we're only doing half, that's basically about as big as I would go with 1 coat of wax. And all you're doing is nice circular motions. Now when I do this, you want to make sure obviously that this is nice and dry, and I'm going to do it on 2 sides. We're going to use one side. You see how the wax has like a nice haze to it basically. I let it set, not too long, you don't want to let it sit too long, but a couple seconds, maybe 20 seconds or so. Just let it get that little haze. All right, and now I grab, this is a brand new microfiber. This way it's fully dry, no wax on it. And this is gonna be the second time. You see how it had that haze on it before? Now that haze is coming off. I let it set another couple seconds also. Make sure you read the bottle or the can or whatever you're using on the wax also, because some of the waxes, the sunlight doesn't bother it. A lot of them it does bother it. It tells you what kind of conditions you're supposed to do the wax in right on the bottle. So read the bottle. We're gonna spray water on it just to see the difference between, remember this is the side that has wax on it, and that's the side that has the RainX on it. So it's like a Canuba wax, some kind of a thick wax for here that you would use, and then the RainX. And let's see how it works. See both sides bead, the water's coming right off of it. Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. I'm gonna do it from both sides just so you can see it. I see the side with the wax, it is beading off. Is it doing a good job? Yes, it's doing a good job. Is it doing the same job as the other side does? I don't think so. I'm seeing this side, the RainX. Me personally, I like the RainX a lot better. I mean, that RainX, as soon as it goes on, you can see the water just bead right off of it. All right, so both sides are done. Me personally, I would definitely recommend the RainX side. It was easier to do. The steps to do it were basically, you're gonna clean it first with the glass cleaner. Depending on how dirty your windshield is, I mean, if it's full with dirt and debris, you really should hit it with soap and water first. And then the glass cleaner, you're gonna wanna use microfiber towels just to really get in there and clean it. Steel wool, I would go over the whole windshield with steel wool, and then apply the RainX. The RainX was actually very easy to apply, and it says it right on the bottle of the directions. But just one thing I would say about the RainX, if you're getting the bottle of it, because the RainX, they do sell wipes in the store either, which I've seen the wipes, I've used them before. The wipes are actually pretty easy. But remember, if you're gonna use the bottle, because if you wanna keep it and use it more long-term and use it every once in a while, you get the bottle because it'd be cheaper just to have a whole bottle of it. But make sure you apply it to the microfiber towel that you're actually using to put the RainX on. You don't put it onto the windshield. You can see the difference. I mean, as soon as the water hits the RainX side, it just basically, it all comes right off. You can actually see if you look at the other side still has a lot of water on it, whereas the RainX side, not all of it, but most of the water on the RainX side just comes right down. On the side that has the wax on it, it basically, I mean, I could still see it beaded up there. I'm not really too impressed with this side. I'm definitely impressed with the RainX side. The RainX side works great, and it's a lot easier to use. All right, so thank you again for watching. Please like and subscribe the video below. If there's any other videos that you want to see, if there's any topics that you want us to go over, please put them in the comments and we will try to get to them. Thank you very much. Again, this is Barry from Barry's Auto Body. Enjoy your day. Thank you very much.